Hello, my dear Virgo. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between August 1st and August 15, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot, and I'll start shuffling your cards. So I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Virgo viewers. So I want my dear Virgos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want them to have creative success. I want you to have creative success and to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, my dear Virgo, I also want to take the chance to tell you about the full moon with the partial lunar eclipse in Aquarius, opposing Sun and Mars in Leo, August 7. We will also have a total solar eclipse in Leo on the 21st of August. The same day, we'll also have the second new moon in Leo. We have the first new moon in Leo today when I'm doing this reading on the 23rd of July. And the second will be in the 21st of August. And that new moon will triangling Saturn, moving retrograde in Sagittarius, and Uranus moving retrograde in Aries. So very fiery, 3 fire signs being combined, especially since also Mars is in Leo. 9 of Swords, apparently, for you, aligned with the moon. 9 of Swords is cruelty, and we have Chariot here also, and the Hangman. It might be some warrior entity in your life, some kind of conflict entity that might need to learn a thing or two about sacrificing themselves instead of sacrificing other people. 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords. You might be dealing with really difficult people. And okay, Venus will be in Cancer, moving into Leo on the 26th and joining there with Mars. So that will be very interesting with both the feminine and masculine aspect in Leo. We have here Capricorn and Jupiter. So it seems like that's some kind of karma for you, Virgo, that will reappear. And it's about probably the masculine becoming more emotionally, opening their heart, or it doesn't have to be a masculine person. It can be a feminine that has been more in the masculine range, but they're actually taking in their feminine side and their more emotional side. We can see there's a lot of emotions also in the 2 of coins. An emotional roller coaster for some of you, maybe. For you, Virgo especially, month will start with Mercury moving direct in Virgo, upon Neptune that is going retrograde in Pisces, August 1 till the 27th of August. Mercury stations August 13 and starts to move retrograde August 14. That is something we fear, especially workers with YouTube and so on, because it usually cracks up the communication and stuff like that. What's more, Moon moves through in Virgo August 22nd to 23rd. Sun moves into Virgo the same day, the 22nd of August, right after the total solar eclipse in Leo on the 21st. The Sun is triangling Uranus, moving retrograde in Pisces. That can't be right. Retrograde in Aries, of course, since August 14 until August 28. Sun opposing Neptune and moving retrograde in Pisces August 27 till September 14. So after Mercury have stopped with opposing Neptune, Sun will take over. So that's interesting too. Okay, so I'll just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, my dear Virgos, this is your future. and this is your now, and this is the past. So the past is probably July for this reading. If it's Major Arcana card, it can be for a longer period of time, your whole life, or even past lives. And this is the now, so probably the first part of August 2017. But whenever you watch this, is probably the exact right time to see it. You can look at it several times if it doesn't really, you don't feel that it's okay. Hello, kitty. If you don't feel that it resonates with you, you can check it again, because more water have been running underneath the bridge, and more you will know more about what's going on. Okay, we have a 10 of wands underneath here. Sorry, kitty. The future you have here, and the future is probably the second half of August, but it might be stretching into 3 months or so. With Taurus, it's like divine timing. So it's about, I will take down the cat and also the cards, sorry. It's about divine timing. The destined situations will appear in your future, the things that is destined to happen. But you can change your destiny, and that's why we read tarot. So you will be pre-warned of what's going on, and you can take shortcuts. You can know what's going to happen and not do the same stupid thing that you have done before, or get new angles on how to deal with difficult people and so on, or when to not become agitated but actually acting cool, or when you actually should become agitated instead of acting cool. Things like this, okay? So, cats always want the attention. They want to be the centerpiece, and attention is love, so it's no wonder I want to have that energy. Here you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is Gemini. We have recently been in Gemini in June, late May and first part of June. Knight of Swords is an energy that's very curious. It's very quick-minded. It's quick with its decisions. You can see the tornado here in the picture, and also it has this overall view. So being very intelligent, connecting the dots, you can say. Knight of Swords is also one of the few warriors in my deck that I currently have. We have the Knight of Swords, and a little bit like King of Swords maybe as well, but it's more an archangel energy, and also the Chariot. But Knight of Swords is the only warrior for real, and it also have the mask that kind of resembles death. So it's evolution, hasty evolution, sometimes reckless things that you're doing that's really quick, and then also kind of imperialistic things going on, where you want to take authority, or you want to win, or you want to manipulate the game, or you want to be on top of the other. And Knight of Swords is very young energy. It's a knight, so it's usually up to the age of 25, but people also acting like with this youth, so they might be driving their car very reckless, or doing something, saying things that might be reckless. It might be the truth, but it might be not so very diplomatic all the time. So we'll see what this energy wants to say. The next card here is a Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is very fiery. Page of Wands is it's pure fire actually, and it's a very revolutionary energy. So it might be that someone is revolting around you, or they might have come in a new energy that were very revolutionary, or didn't want to act accordingly with the how you expected them to act. The Page of Swords, it has the rainbow colors here, so they are very spiritual and very diverse in their expression. We have my dog also barking outside. I don't know if you hear it, but it's disturbing me a little bit, so I will check that out. So a lot of animal interference. So I guess one of this energy is the male energy, kind of the domesticated dog, and one is the feline energy, the domesticated cat. I would recognize any of these to be the cat actually. And dog, it might be any of them as well, but Usually the fire signs is more closely related to cats, but I guess this is a masculine and a feminine energy in your life, or it might be your masculine and your feminine side, and they are very fiery together. It's air and fire, so it's very a lot of oxygen. We have actually the full moon in Aquarius, August 7, will opposing Sun and Mars in Leo, but that's in the future more. But it might have been some similar event before. Okay, we have a Two of Cups here. So Two of Cups is definitely love, and it's love. It might be understanding as well, good cooperation, good talks. Maybe sometimes it can be talking things through and communicating in a way that makes people come closer together. You have Venus here. So Venus have actually been in Gemini a great deal of the time. I don't remember when it went out and went into Cancer, but it might have been in early July or something like that. The next card is Ace of Wands. So you see this picture here. It's a Page of Wands and a Two of Cups and the Ace of Wands on each side. So this is pure fire and this is pure fire. On each side of this, it must be a very passionate relationship. It might be you meeting also someone new. It might be you having several partners as well. Because you have the Knight of Swords here, that's a little bit lonely, this energy. And but maybe they came in with a Page of Wands energy, and we'll see what will be in the mix here. Ace of Wands, and the last card is the Chariot. Okay, so what did I say? Both those is warrior energy. So you might have met someone new, and this someone new might not be really the person that you think that they are. They might be really nice, but the chances are this is a challenge. The chances are this is a person, a very passionate relationship that might be igniting a bigger fire, like twin flames, this kind of more spiritual situation. And those relationships are very, very challenging. And it's crucial that you are keeping a bright mind here and not getting fooled by your own dreams and hopes about the situation, but keep yourself really awake. I know this is in July, but for some of you, this might still be going on. So don't lose yourself in dreams with this energy. If you have met someone new, they might just be there to challenge you, not to give you your dreams. The Chariot is actually going after your dreams, and it's putting two energies together, Sagittarius and Cancer energy in the same chariot, so you can be able to move forward. So it's like the player kind of entity, adventurous, wants to roam the world. Wherever I lay my hat is my home. And the Cancer, more homey, having a shell that's protecting their yummy inside, not moving around so much, but more at home energy. And we have the moon here and the waters. It was similar to the Two of Coins with a lot of waters down here. So it's talking about moving through emotions, and maybe the emotions is also in upheaval because of the moon is pulling on them. So the divine wants you to feel a little bit of pain in this situation, but also the thrill. It can be the thrill of the chase or being chased, and it can be a thrill of experiencing something that might be for a once in a lifetime thing, or something you will remember for a long time. It's the stuff that dreams are made of, but the warning is to not fly too high with a person that you can't really trust, because they will drop you at a high altitude, and that might be very very heartbreaking. Okay, so enjoy the ride, but don't lose touch with reality here. Remember that this energy that you have met or you're encountering is probably having their own agenda. It might not be the same as you. Probably they are opposite as to you, and you're supposed to learn something from them. I would have loved to say something more reassuring, but I think it's like very wonderful, passionate love relationship, but it's not secure at all. So I can't say so much more than that. And here is in the first part of August, and we have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is very good because the Knight of Swords might communicate in a very truthful and honorable way, and that is lifting up the situation a little bit. This is Eight of Wands is actually Mercury in Sagittarius, so it's talking about the Mercury energy and a swift moving communication and communication back and forth. It might even be like a long distance relationship, and maybe that's why I'm feeling this insecurity, because it might be something that's very new, or it's long distant, or it's mainly communication through different media. So it might not be a face-to-face communication all the time, and that might build on the insecurity. So you might have to travel also a distance, or this person will travel to meet you. We have the King of Swords with the Chariot, and the Eight of Wands is very much a flying energy. It's like plane lifting off, or a new plan for you. It might be a new plan, a new thing here. And we have also the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands comes underneath the Page of Wands, and this might be your own adventurous energy. I don't see any earth here at all, but this might be your own adventurous energy, and it's number 3. So it might be that you have met this person online, or you're speaking to them online, or from a long distance, because this is a ship and this is kind of aeroplane above the clouds. You might have met them on a vacation, or maybe you're dating different people and you haven't really settled down with this relationship. If it's a more settled relationship, there might have been some spark waking up within this relationship, some old spark that wasn't there before, or maybe they have come in a new person in the mix. Really central, we have the Temperance energy, and the Temperance is about taking in your other side, and I don't see earth anywhere, so you have really taken in your other side. This is about mostly fire and air, but also a lot of water. The Temperance is Sagittarius also, again, you had it here. So it's about following your soul wherever it takes you, following love, even if the sword that's hidden underneath its wing have its power to hurt you, but you are supposed to experience this opposite energy. So maybe it's you, Virgo, maybe it's you that's out having a blast during this period. Maybe you are really enjoying summer with being hastily in love, or meeting a lot of people and falling in love to the left and right. It might be this, and it's supposed to be like this because seem to be have to experience the other side, the other energy. It might have to do with Mars and Venus, the cat and the dog, the different masculine and feminine ways of doing things. You're supposed to learn the feminine ways of doing things, or the masculine way of doing things. This is going to bring some kind of connection, because when we understand each other, when we're able to communicate with one another very clearly and very truthful and honest, and still standing there and being together, that's a big win for connection. That is making relationship go much more deeper. So if they were shallow in the beginning, they might have been deepening now. The next card is Five of Cups, and this is, of course, always what's in the mix when you are falling in love with someone. You're risking your heart, you're risking to be left. And I want you to be able to calculate this risk and see very clearly on it that it's there, and this is not a fairy tale dream. You need to be awake, but not be suspicious, but be awake and not let yourself be fooled by someone that just wants to have a blast with you if you are out for something more. And also guard your heart if you're having a lot of affairs, so you're not falling in love with a person that are not good for you in the long run. Because it's easily like this when we are meeting a lot of people, that we might actually fall in love with the person that we just wanted to have like a fun time with. And those relationships can be really challenging because you haven't chosen them from a logic state of a logic view. You have chosen them out of passion. And passion is very nice when there's a weekend flirt or a summer flirt, but it's not so nice to build a long-term relationship with someone that's a little bit dangerous, a little bit on the edge, a little bit not answering your text, or not even being in the same country as you. So be a little bit careful. Don't just... it's good to be the fool and to be naive and throw yourself out there, because this is challenging you to grow. But also take care of the little entity, the little inner child that is you, and that needs a grown-up to take care of them and to not take stupid decisions. You can't let your child unattended just because it wants people in its life and adventure and happiness. You need to be there as a grown-up entity and see, okay, this girl might be a lot of fun, but she seems to flirt with all the guys. So that might not be something I want to fall in love with, because if I do, I will experience hell on earth. Okay? And it's the same if you're a female. If you have a masculine person that seems to are not going to stay in the country even, yes, that's maybe what I see. Someone leaving or abandoning or not staying in one place for such a long time. Maybe they are a bit restless. And maybe that's not the person that you want to give your heart away to. And here we have a King of Swords, so that's very good. Here it comes in, maybe a little bit too late. This logic mind, this King of Swords entity. I talked about it too, to be a warrior, but it's more like a warrior that has been in battle for a very long time. And deciding that there must be another way, there must be a better way. And he's very cool and non-dramatic, and he's not very, he's not intriguing so much. He's seeing things from above perspective and making a clear judgment call that might be good for everyone. You are probably dealing with a Libra, I haven't seen Libra yet, but Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. It might be a Sagittarius as well, because there's a lot of Sagittarius energy and Cancer energy. And a lot of fire, but I think the fire is actually you. I think it's you, but remember that fire and earth together can make a desert. Here you have water still, but maybe you will come into, you won't be thinking it's so fun anymore, and you start to become bitter instead if this dream isn't coming through in a very good way. So you might go on into a deserty period. First you have this fun, and then you won't, like, you will be nauseous just with the thought of guys or girls or relationships. So be a little bit careful with that, not to burn the own ground where you're standing. Become a little bit more logic, so you will be able to know when things are going to go south, and become really cool with this, because you can't really control what another person is going to do. So let them do whatever they want, but don't let them drag you along with them down wherever they want to go. Don't let people treat you badly. Don't become like someone to walk all over. And the Five of Cups coming before the King of Swords might indicate also that you will hurt the King of Swords. And I have not much to say about that, because the Ace of Wands, that's talking about the background story, and the Chariot here is saying that it's a new beginning. And with new beginnings, you can't really know if you are going to fall in love with a person or not. And it's the same for them. They can't know. They might love you the first few days that they are together with you, because they love the image that they have in their head about you. But when they see you for real, and they start to see that you're not the person that they imagine, it doesn't mean that you're the wrong person or the bad person. It just means that they are not attracted by that type of person. So it's not personal. It's about them and what they are attracted by, and what scares them and what not scares them. And we are some complex beings, so love relationships are hard. And if we have been like with someone that had a certain personality trait that hurt us, and we find someone that has similar, we will be cautious and we will step away. So this seems like it's very fresh and very new. So you can't really blame the other person and they can't blame you if there's not going to be a continuation. But the wings are there all the time, so it's really, you need to very much look at the situation from an above perspective and not get so like involved like on the ground zero level, so you will be tossed around like this. Try to see this person for what they are. Even if you got like a really burning instant attraction, you fell in love with them head over heels, that's probably doesn't mean anything, except that you have something to learn from them. And probably you need to learn to be more aloof and to not be fooled by people, to be more logic, to be more not just falling for a dream, but also taking care of your heart. I know you, Virgo, have been working very hard with being yourself, finding yourself, taking up lost soul parts and so on. So now you have a responsibility to not lose them again. And to lose them is to get heartbroken, because then you will be traumatized, and your inner child might be like in the bottom of the well crying again. So you need to become the adult person and taking care of yourself. It might be an old relationship as well, but then it's kind of outdated for you in some way, because it's like you are waking up with a new fire. You want something more. You want something more passionate. You want something more alive. And when it's passionate and alive, it might be dangerous as well. But I think you want the passionate and alive with this beautiful connection. You see, connection. And this is also connection, and here you have connection. So I think what you are after is very beautiful. So haunt that dream. Not haunt it, but yes, go after that dream anyway. And go after that dream. It's very much looking like ghosts here, but never mind that. Go after that dream, but don't compromise. Don't take a dream that, okay, I'm in love. Wonderful, I'm finally in love. The guy's a creep, but I'm in love. So don't take it like this. Aim to what you really want, like your true dream, not just settling for anything that's like a little bit similar to what you want. You can experience that person for a while, and that might be what's leaving them heartbroken. If you find them to not be what you really want, this is not the perfect relationship for me. But be very honest in that case. The worst thing with those flirts and those love relationship is when you expose yourself to someone and then they just leave without an explanation. So explain. It might be a good feedback also for that person if they know that they shouldn't wear black socks in the bedroom, or that they should be more frequent with texting their girl, or that the girl shouldn't be like requiring too much attention when traditionally the guys wants to go out with their mates. Things like this. So it might be very good feedback. So don't miss that step. It's a crucial step, and it's that step that people misses, and it's great karma, bad karma. So don't do that. Be very honest. Give feedback. Be very kind as well. Say that truthful and honest, but kind. So we will continue into the future, and here we have the Hermit. Finally, Virgo, and here it comes underneath the Eight of Wands and Knight of Swords. So what can we say about this? It's some kind of communication that makes you want to run for the hills, or it's some kind of communication that triggers something in you that you need to have some time alone and thinking. Or maybe it's you that's running away from passion and intimacy all the time. Maybe you have trouble with this. This is probably your energy, and it wants to be alone. It wants to be... It's like you can't really connect with people in this depth that you really want to. You want to, but you can't. And you are figuring out, you are thinking that you yourself are crazy. Well, I have been longing for this connection, but as soon as someone come and approach me in a very honest way and wants to have me for real, this what I have always been dreaming of, then I flee to the mountains. I run for the hills. I go to the cave. I make myself unavailable. So what's that all about? Don't run away from yourself here. It's totally okay. You are on the level of consciousness where you are. You can't change that. So if you're always falling in love with creeps, continue falling in love with creeps, but do so with more, being awake. Fall in love with them, but see it for what it is, just a fling for a short time, because you can't connect to people in true depths. So it might be like this for some of you. So just see this. This is a wound that wants to be healed. So it's totally okay for you to. I know that some of you might have been like it's very hasty energy here. So you want to have this dream fulfilled like right now, and then you are finding out that you yourself you are seeing it maybe as flaws, like glitches, things that's not perfect within you, and that's not ready for this whole and committed love. So what's that all about? That's things that needed to be experienced. You can't miss this step. So the only advice I can give you is, if you are reluctant to fall for the wrong people, let yourself continue doing so, but be awake and aware, and don't let them treat you badly. So have this very aloof side of yourself, always like a guardian angel taking care of your inner child. So go on and do this, because it might be exactly the thing that your inner child needs to really heal. They need to experience this. They need to be on the edge of danger, and not with people that doesn't want to commit because they themselves are not ready to commit. And it might be that you feel you need to hurry into a relationship. You want this beautiful connection, but you're not ready. So just do this. Go into those relationships that's your taste with open eyes, and just don't fall too deeply in love that you are finding yourself in an abusive relationship, or a relationship where you're not getting your needs met, or the other person hurt you in the way that you were hurt when you were a little child. So be very careful with yourself here. And here we have a Queen of Wands. So some of you might be very fiery during this time, but I think this is how you are going to make it. Okay, you are going to take very good care of your inner child here when you come to the Virgo state in the end of August, probably. It might be longer time, because this is it's a major arcana card, so it's talking about longer periods of time and much bigger energies. But so it might go into September. That's your month, Virgo. But this is Queen of Wands. She's there to raise, a lion cubs, or different feline cubs anyway. So she can help you with this. She can help you with self-respect, with boundaries, with saying if someone is doing something wrong towards you. We can see a little cat is keeping away a big dog without any problem, just with having this fierce expression. I think she can easily scare even the King of Swords if she wanted. All people have been brought up with a mom and usually have great respect for their mom. So this feminine energy is a force to be reckoned with. It's like when the mother can rule like a teenage boy still. He will still tremble in his knees when she is saying she's piercing her eyes at him. So I think you will be able to make it just fine. This is like a test run for you. Even if you are married and have a husband, this is still a test run for you, to see that you are able to not cave in, to not give in, to not compromise yourself, to not say, okay, so I will deal with that old crap. I will just endure. No, you won't. Now you're the Queen of Wands here, so you won't endure at all. For some of you, this will be a three-party relationship as well. So be also not too invested because of that. If you know that it's very new relationship, people needs to have their time to settle in a relationship, and to cut bounds with old people, and to also decide who they want to spend their future with. It's a really important decision. So don't make them into crooks just because they need to have this time. But be aware of it, so because you might not be the one that end up being chosen. So you need to become very strong. This is like having the witch and the warrior to protect your inner child. So this is very, very good for you. But you might have the witch and the warrior on the outside as well, and you being just the inner child, and you need to mirror those other entities that might overwhelm you, like a mistress or what the name is with the guys, I don't know, but lover. Probably lover. Okay, so there might be so your warrior entity might be mirrored in your girlfriend's lover. Okay, so and that just showing you that you need to take better care of yourself, and not being so easily fooled. Even if you want this connection, you don't have to take something that's half and half. That's not exactly what you want. And then we have this problem again with you falling for maybe the wrong kind of persons, but let's just go with it, but be very awake, and take a step back if they are not approaching you. So it's up to them to take a step forward if they want a relationship with you. Don't take too much responsibility here. And here's the Magician. So it's showing again that if you want a true connection, you need to be awake and need to be able to deal with manipulators. So if she was a lioness and she had a little collection of cubs, and the Magician came, in this case, it's someone that wants their attention. It's almost like I see a dark street. It's kind of a robbery. Okay, it's a robbery going on. So you are this feline creature going to protect your cublings against robbery. So this is a manipulator, and you're dealing with a manipulator. Don't let them manipulate you. They are not like superhumans without emotions. They have as much as emotions as you do, but they get their energy from stealing it from other people sometimes. So you need to be aware of this. When the Magician comes together with some of the knights, it's always you need to be careful, because it's very young masculine energy, and they haven't really been playing, they are not finished playing, and they might even go through their adolescence with a hermit energy here. So you need to be very awake. You are not among friends here, even if you are very attracted by them and very much in love with them. They have their own interest before their eyes and not your interest, because they don't know how to generate energy from the depths of themselves. They only know how to generate energy by stealing it from you. So you need to be aware of that and cut off that. Don't let them steal that energy. If they want to be with you, they need to give as well. You want this connection. You don't want to be the one running after trying to get the connection. You want to have connection. So every time they step back, you step back. If they step forward, you step forward. Be very honest always with your feelings. You can say to a person, I'm really interested in you. If they are stepping back, then you are still stepping back, because there needs to be two to tango. In other case, this is going to be a relationship that's going to suck you dry, or a situation that's going to suck you dry. Okay, so the next is the Nine of Swords, and I think we got this, pretty sure that we got this together with, maybe it was the new moon in Leo. Yes, okay, Nine of Swords anyway. So we see that this new beginning is going to end badly, but not in, like, from a spiritual point of view. Not if you are able to see that things are going to go south and you are taking the necessary steps and precautions to see to that you are not getting hurt. Then it's a win, okay? Because you finally learned how to take care of yourself, how to become your inner warrior, like you're having your inner father figure installed. And this was what your inner child wanted all along, to test if you would be there for this inner child and protect it. And you are going to. Nine of Swords is cruelty, people being cruel towards you, you having sleepless night. It might be you being cruel to them and giving them sleepless night. As I said, we have the air energy here on both sides, and it's because you need to mirror this. You have mirrors in a lot of those cards. You need to mirror this other person. You need to learn from them. If you're meeting with a warrior, you need to become a warrior. If you're meeting with a lover, you need to become a lover. In other case, you won't get this loving energy. So that's how we are going to rebuild the connection between people by making them doing all their fair share. One needs to become more aloof and more like taking more responsibility, not being a victim, just crying on the floor. And the other one needs to open their heart region and show that they too are ready to give. So this is how we can balance things up in our lives. The next card is Seven of Wands. So the victory here is that you are being able to say no, and you are being able to still have your dream intact and be the King of Swords, like being very aloof and not dramatic at all, just cool and detach from any situation that's not your biggest dream. Okay, 7-7 challenges. You are being challenged. You're being like it's almost like a honey trap which you are going into, and then you need to grow spiritually. So you still have the dream. The dream is your beacon. It's what you are not going to lose sight of, this dream, and settle for something that's less than this. And the King of Swords is your aloofness. It's your centeredness, being able to be very cool and in control, and not being upset if someone is unwilling to fulfill your dreams. Then you just say, okay, bye-bye, I will. It's a numbers game. You think that the first person that land on the hood of your car will be the one that you will marry. It's not like this. We have a lot to learn before we can get into this situation where we can actually find our true soulmate and live together happily in a kind of paradisic state. If it ever will happen on earth, you will have to be very experienced to reach this point, because you need to have integrated your shadow. In other case, you are going to marry your shadow, and the marriage is going to be hell on earth. So this is a chance for you to actually grow and become this, what you want to actually marry in the future. And when you become this, you will also mirror this on the outside. When you become whole, your next partner will also be whole. So this is not the end game for you. You are going to have to say no a lot and to sort a lot and say, this I like and this I don't like. It's like, it's as you are fostering people into how to behave towards you. You are actually, with you saying yes and no, you are teaching people how to treat you. So if you teach them to treat you like dirt because you don't have any boundaries, that's up to you. But don't do this, because you deserve much better. So say no to things. Many times we compromise ourselves because we think that we are not valuable, that we don't deserve better than this. This is all we are going to get. We have seen it before, so we know that this is the limit. This is the thing that universe always throws at us. But why they do this is to challenge you to say no. It's the law of repulsion. Say no to things you don't want. It's about showing that you have the life experience enough to say no. And then there will come in more beautiful things that you actually can say yes to. So you're going to have to fight for your right, and also be aware of sneaky people acting like players, or people trying to manipulate you. It might this is for love and spirituality, but it might go on also in your family relationship, in your business and things like this. Usually your pattern is the same throughout. It will just come out more bigger in any one part, like either in love or in work or in money. It's different where we have our wounds. But if you change your pattern with one thing, you will probably also help you a lot with other things. So I will take a card for the past from Mary L. Tarot by Mary White. It's a very big, beautiful deck. And here we have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is an old trauma, an old pain. And you are going to get a grip on it this time, because you are going to go into that situation that actually traumatized you from the first time. It might have been in a relationship with your mother or your father, for example, that they didn't give you love and attention enough. And now you're seeking danger with relationship that's not giving you attention enough. So you're going to go into this very aware. I see awareness in this picture. And you're going to go here, and you know that this is the point where you're always getting hurt. But this time you're not going to let yourself become hurt. And we see the wings. It's about peace. It's about not being pissed off on a person because they didn't love us. It's taking responsibility, and okay, they didn't love us, so I move along. They didn't give me, I say us because we have this child, the witch and the warrior, to take in consideration. She didn't love me enough, so I will move on to someone who does, because I deserve better. That's the decision you need to take. And when you do so, you also create peace. Because when you don't see people as crooks anymore, but people that actually also just trying to survive just like you, trying to get by with a day just like you, even if they are a person that might steal your energy, like the magician, like walking on the edge of black and white, sometimes very pure and sometimes very impure. They are still struggling with the same thing as you do. You want energy, you want love, you want connection. Someone steal this, and other people beg for this. And what we want is two parties that can equally share. Because when you give the free willingly, and you're not in like you are being able to receive as well, this is when the connection is being reinstalled, and this bird becomes a peace dove, and peace is restored, and communication is restored, and connection is restored between people on earth. So you're giving peace to yourself, you're giving healing to yourself, you're fixing yourself and your future, creating your future just by saying no to things that you don't want. So it's as simple as that. Okay, so we'll see future also for Virgo, and it's with Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti. It's the same artist that has done the Legacy of the Divine Tarot that we see I'm using here. So one card for Virgo in the future, so it's almost the same. It's number 36 here, and it's an angel being trapped with like it's strings attached, but they have the sword here. They could easily free themselves. So you are victimized free willingly. You're staying in a situation that's unbearable. Sorry for my voice, I'm a little bit cold. Free willingly. You can easily cut the cord. What's stopping you is your own emotions. But when you become the King of Swords and you let go of control, and you just roll out the red carpet to your emotions, and just give yourself attention, give yourself protection, just being with yourself, listening to yourself. Okay, I feel hurt, I feel abandoned, and that's not going to be a problem anymore, because then you are really centered in your soul. With having your feelings, taking the consequences of a breakup won't be a problem anymore, because you will be there loving yourself. You will have the child being supported by the witch and the warrior, so the family will be intact. Everyone will be happy, because you have invited your soul. You know that you are worthy. You know that your dream will come true, or it's at least a beacon that's going to lead you to all this beautiful experience that's going to make you into a even more greater soul. And again, I feel this archangel archetype here. I see it. And also, we can actually see that it's not only you that bearing this energy, it's actually your opponent as well. They are like you. For many of you, you will actually have encounter your twin flame, or a person that's really there to challenge the living crap out of you. Because nice people are not challenging. They are enabling. Challenging people are making you grow. So they are challenging you until you are being able to just take this sword and cut yourself free from the strings. The strings is your own addiction to situations, your own addiction to being in love, your own addiction to different types of drugs, or being codependent until a person that's a little bit cruel. You can stop this any day when you just find yourself and center yourself. Do a lot of mindfulness practices and ground yourself, and kind of fake logic decisions until you can take them with coolness. First, you won't be cool at all. You will be scared, really scared to say no to a person that you you know the consequences inside of you is going to be sad when you leave them, but you have to, because they are triggering you to do this, because they want you to free yourself. So the day that you are doing this, you are going to tremble. But then you are going to find out how strong you are, and how much this is actually, you weren't even stuck from the beginning. You have never been. You just stayed free deliberately, codependent. And now you're free. You are going to make yourself free and whole and beautiful. So this is actually very, very promising for you. If you can be friend with your own emotions, with your own inside, it doesn't matter what happens on the outside. If you're friends with your inside, if you love to stay inside your heart and just dwell there, or it's easy to fall into sleep because you love to be in your body. This is the opposite. This is when you are thinking, well, I'm never going to get a new love like this. I'm never going to feel like this again. I'm never going to meet someone like this again. I'm giving up. That's when you're hurting yourself. When you're instead being in your dream, like this warrior, conquering and deciding that, well, this is something I don't want. I'm going to aim for the bigger dream. Okay, I'm not going to stay in a stupid situation. It's beyond me. And that is something you are able to do when you are integrating yourself and making yourself this whole. You have the temperance in the center, and the child and the witch and the warrior. So you're whole now. You have no excuses to make, despite this, that it hurts inside. And you're too afraid to go out and take chances with other people. If this is over, you rather turn to this bitter desert situation. Don't do that. Okay. So my dear Virgo, I'm so thankful for you sharing this journey with me, and I hope you will join me again in the middle of August. Okay, bye-bye.